Excuse me, what time is it?
It's time for lunch.
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 It's lunchtime.
Hey, what's for lunch?
Yeah.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is Craig. This is Nick. And we have a very special guest with us today. It is Bowtie Ben. What's going on, Ben?
Hey guys, breaking stuff already over there. Just went through sound checks and now you're breaking everything.
The one thing we just went over, and Nick messed up already. That's okay. So, for those of you who don't know, Ben is a celebrity in the Lehigh Valley. He does a lot of...
C-list local celebrity, I like to say.
A C-list in the
C-list
Valley?
local celebrity, man.
How?
I would say
no way.
A-list local. I would say A-list.
If anything, C-list on like the top celebrity status. Like if you're going Hollywood, you're
Wouldn't that be like a B then? Like, can we like meet in the middle there? And I think
just an overall B.
If you want to inflate my ego and say I'm like a B-, that's fine. But I'm not going any higher than that.
All right, we'll go B-
cool.
on the Hollywood charts. Not just the local charts. I'm going Hollywood here. So, so Ben is here. He does. What would you call yourself at the Phantoms? Because I mean, I've been saying like announcer or like a hype man. Like
I like hype man. That would be cool. My official title is arena host. So
Okay.
that's the title they gave me. You can go by MC.
Right.
People around town go, you're that Phantoms guy. So that works, whatever. I don't really care.
How often do you get that?
It's a little more regular. Like, it was weird the first few times. It was like New Year's Eve last year, and I was just drinking and dancing at Steel Stacks, and somebody's like, oh, you're that Phantoms guy. I'm like, crap, now I can't get totally wasted.
Yeah, right.
I have some sort of standards to uphold myself to now.
Who wants to take this party back to my place?
Yeah, pretty much.
Because I'm the Phantoms guy when I'm anywhere but in my backyard. Like,
Yeah.
are you more known for your mustache though? Like,
Yeah, since I grew that, yeah, I get at least like 3, if I'm out in public, it's at least like 3-4 comments a day.
that is awesome.
My girlfriend and I, when we were at Hershey Park over the summer, we were playing a fun game where she wanted to see how many, I thought it would be higher than the amount of mustache comments I got, and she thought it would be higher the number of fanny packs around Hershey Park we'd find. I think I won by like 2.
oh
Yeah.
my god.
But it was like high. Like, there were way more fanny packs than I thought there were. There was like 5 fanny packs, and like right at the end on like the last roller coaster, like there were like 3 kids in line that were like, look at the mustache guy.
Oh.
Like, cool mustache. I'm like, that's all right. Yeah,
But then all those kids were wearing fanny packs, so it like
yeah, it balanced out.
that's like throwing the punch at the same time and connecting and both getting knocked out.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that you do this improv. What are the names of the improv groups that you're in, and what do you guys do? I mean, I went to see you guys last Thursday, and it was hilarious. Like,
Yeah, that was a weird show. That was like a one-off show we did last Thursday. It was a game show, comedy game show that we do like twice a year. So you saw the holiday edition of that, where one of my improv teammates, Dan Marr, he kind of produces that, and then I just kind of co-host with him. So that was kind of a one-off weird show. That got a little weird with stuff. But yeah, I'm in 2 long-form improv groups. Flighty Ducks is like the premier group in the Valley. Like, we've been around, we just celebrated 5 years with the Ducks as a group. Wow. I've been in it for 3 years. And then I'm in another group called Shrunken Kids. It is one of the house teams over at Steel Stacks. There's a show every other Thursday night called the Improv Comedy Power Hour. So we have like a house team run for about 6 to 7 months or so. And then we cast new teams.
Oh, nice.
So Shrunken Kids will maybe continue after that, but that's the team for now. So yeah, it's long form improv as opposed to short form improv, which you know from like Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Right.
That would be short form where like you're playing a game, like move the legs of the guy, like where like the funny thing is already kind of given to you. Long form improv is more scene work. It's kind of like SNL, but improvised.
So like more thought out, like
I guess
it takes more talent to do the long form.
We're a little snooty about it in the long form community, and we kind of look down on short form people. I like both, but yeah, I enjoy long form a little more. I think it's a little more challenging. Just kind of start from scratch and do a whole scene, literally starting with nothing, and then just working with someone who doesn't know what the heck's going on, and you make something beautiful and funny in the end, or something stupid and terrible, and you just wipe it away, and
Yeah, right.
it goes in the trash. So yeah.
Yeah.
Now, what's your take on like bringing someone on stage? Like, is it fun for you to like have like an audience member like on the stage with you?
Usually we hate that because it kind of like breaks up what you're trying to
really?
do. Like if there was like a heckler, or there wasn't a heckler the other night, but like last show we had just a lady who was there to see one of our people in our group, and she hadn't seen him in 25 years, and she like walked in late and was like drunk and was like, oh hey, how's it going? And we were like in the middle of a scene, and we just kind of you either try and play it off or you like go into it 100% like. Making it part of the scene, but you try not to empower them so they don't do it over and over again, or else it'll kind of screw you up.
Is that the lady that I think it was?
Oh, that was a different show, but yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, that was kind of You saw that there was a contestant she was just drunk and
she won.
yeah, and then we had
Was it
we
like
had
a
what
question?
we had a group of celebrities as part of the game show, and then we ask the audience if they want to participate, and then we whittle it down into 2 audience contestants. And then, of course, the drunken, crazy lady was the one who was one of the 2 contestants.
And then she won at the end.
Yeah, and she won the grand prize, too, which was like a Keurig maker. So it was kind of crappy. But
not only that,
you go with it.
There was a huge trophy, and it was like a golfer. Like somebody just playing golf. Was their first prize trophy.
That was a trophy that got thrown away in our offices. So
Oh,
I just
really?
picked it up. I was like, oh, this is perfect for our game show.
Yeah, I mean, it's
free
the
and-
most random and funny thing. I was like, I can't believe she's walking away right now with a Keurig and a golf
I'm
trophy.
surprised she wanted it. We were hoping that the winner would just be like, this is stupid. I don't want a golf trophy with the name of the tournament X'd out in Sharpie.
Oh,
like,
is that what you guys
Yeah,
did?
I just colored in the name of the tournament in Sharpie. And I was like, oh, well, they'll probably give it back and we'll use it again next year.
Oh,
Nope.
my God.
That makes for a funny
crazy
story
lady
for
took
you
it.
at home to like tell
Oh,
people.
yeah.
Like, oh, where'd you get the Keurig and that golfer trophy? It's like, I saw a comedy improv at the.
I don't think that lady's going to remember the
Yeah, I
story.
was going to
Oh,
say.
true.
She's-
I
She'll
don't know
wake
how
up
drunk-
tomorrow and be like, I don't know where this came from, but who wants coffee? Like, I can make coffee and talk about a golf tournament I was never in, apparently.
It was like a 2-year-old Keurig, too, that
really?
that Dan had gotten from like his old place of employment. So I'm hoping it just doesn't work
Oh, my God. That would be great.
because I'm
Just-
a jerk like that.
A Keurig that doesn't work and a golf trophy.
Mhm.
She'll be good for days.
You can survive off that.
So how did you get into this? Like the thing with the Phantoms, and I know you do the Iron Pigs. We just talked before the show. You got some Villanova games that you're going to be doing.
Yep.
How do you is this something you wanted to do early on, or is this something that just fell into your lap?
It's kind of a thing that just fell into my lap in some respects. Like I always knew I wanted to do broadcasting and be in sports and whatever. Like in elementary school, I was in plays, and then I was in theater in high school with like the Freddie Awards and things like that. But I always enjoyed sports too. I was one of those guys that was just liked everything. So I went to college. I went to Syracuse University for broadcast journalism. I wanted to be like a play-by-play announcer. So I went to Syracuse, which is a great school. Got into the radio station there, the famous one with like Bob Costas and Mike Tirico as their alumni, and like I've got to meet them and sit in rooms and talk to them with like 5 other people. Like it's crazy. So I was super into being like play-by-play guy, but I don't want to be like the fun guy. So I did games for Syracuse. You might remember that 6 overtime game in the Big East tournament a bunch of years ago. It was Syracuse and UConn. It was like the longest game and one of the longest games in history. Like I was there on the air.
Oh wow!
For that game, which was pretty nuts.
Did you do the whole game?
Yeah, I did like play-by-play for the first half, and then I did color commentary. We usually split like the halves. So I was color for the second half, and we were just like, oh, and first overtime we'll continue this. So I was just color the rest of the game.
Yeah.
The funny thing is I had to pee starting in like at like halftime. I was like, should I go? I'll just wait it out till the end of the game. I'll be good.
Oh my God.
And by like the third overtime, I was like, literally, I was staring at the empty water bottle next to me, thinking, should I relieve myself in the middle of Madison Square Garden because I have to go that bad, but I can't leave the air. I can't just leave the broadcast and leave this crazy game. So that was fun.
That is awesome.
So yeah, I did that, and I was play-by-play broadcaster for the Auburn Double Days. They're like short season, single A team for it was the Blue Jays affiliate back then. Then I was all around too. I did some color commentary for Penn State women's basketball. What else did I go? And then I got a job with the Trenton Thunder, and that's where I kind of branched out to other things. Like they created a position for me because I was also mascot at Syracuse for 3 years.
Really?
Yeah. So I liked mascotting a lot, and I was broadcasting and was liked having fun at games. So they kind of created a position for me where I was doing some broadcasting, like doing a couple road games, broadcast play-by-play wise, and then helping them out with mascot appearances during the day and during some
What
games.
didn't you do?
And then I did some games on public address for the Trenton Thunder as well.
Oh, wow.
So pretty much did everything there. And then while I was there, I had a bunch of ideas for like some crazy characters that I did in the stands. I have a food vendor that goes around and selling like fake things like peanuts, popcorn, goat milk. And I have so I created this character called the Wacky Food Vendor, and then I had a couple other characters. You might know the Phantom of the Arena that I did a couple games ago at the Phantoms on Friday the 13th. But he originated as the Phantom of the Ballpark.
Okay.
So that's one of my other characters. And then so I had all these characters that I created, and I was talking to a friend who was in baseball, and he said, hey, like, you have a lot of these great characters. Like, instead of making chump change in the minor, like, for one team, you can, like, sell yourself to a bunch of different teams, like these traveling acts. So I created my own traveling act called the Utility Man, which I've been doing this will be the 5th season of the Utility Man. So I just do kind of gigs wherever I can get them. And then I tried, I tried booking a gig with the Iron Pigs, and instead they came back and were like, hey, how about you, like, just come work for us for the summer, like, on our staff. I was like, oh, that could work. I'll try some stuff out at the Iron Pigs, and then take it on the roads, and, it's back, and then I can go back home and work for, the best friggin' minor league team in all of baseball.
Right. That is pretty
That's
awesome.
so cool. Like, we get to, like, hear before, like, all I know is you at the Phantoms and the Iron Pigs.
Well,
And
at
many-
first, we're big Mets fans. I'm sure that you don't like
That's
this.
unfortunate.
I have a Mets towel here.
We all make
You're
poor life
covering it
choices.
as you're
It's all
saying.
right.
But we don't go to as many Iron Pigs games, but we're big Flyers fans. So when we got season tickets, we were like, oh, this is cool. Like, like we got to know you as Bowtie Ben at the Phantoms. And we didn't know that you even worked at the Iron Pigs, just because, like, you see somebody and it's like, okay, he looks familiar.
Sure.
But then when we go from hockey, we went to go see a baseball game. I was like, wait a minute.
We were like pointing. Like,
I was like,
wait.
that guy, that's Ben, and he works here. I was like, I wonder, like I was wondering how you got into this and stuff. So, like, I hope people that are listening to this are like, oh my God, like, you're gonna get people coming up to you tomorrow, like, yo, I heard that, and like, that's crazy. Like, that's a great story. You know what I mean?
It's weird. When I started last year, like, people were like, "Oh, do you work at the Iron Pigs too?" I'm like, "Yeah." Or like I was at an Iron Pigs game. They're like, "Oh, you work here too?" I was like, "Yeah, it's my 4th season. I've been here 4 years. There's only 1 year of the Phantoms." I think like one of the reasons is like I'm not as like prominent. I don't have as big a prominent role at the Iron Pigs. Like, I split MC duties with Lindsay, who's great. But I think like it's because the video board is far back in left field, so it's not like as in your face at like the Phantoms. Like, you're not very far from the big huge screens,
And there's
in the
four of
center
them.
and there's 4 of them, so like everybody can see like very well. So I don't think I think that's part of it too. Like, if I'm hosting a game, it's much more prominent. So I think that's the facial recognition, at least. That's probably why.
What else did we talk about? We talked about this is in person at the Phantoms game about the lag with the microphones.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The Iron Pigs is worse, right?
Yeah, it's okay at the Phantoms. It's great, but it's just at Coca-Cola Park. There's like a half-second delay on it when I talk to when it comes out of the speakers, just because of how the lag is from the video feed. So it like matches it up on the video board.
Oh, okay.
So they can turn that lag off, but then it like looks kind of weird
The
for
video
sometimes.
will be like delayed.
Yeah, so they'll turn it off for things like the national anthem if it's like a kids group or something like that,
Right.
so they can hear themselves a little better. But yeah, it causes some problems, like when when you want to do like a karaoke thing.
Yeah.
If you're playing the track, that's coming out at real time, and then I'm singing it in real time, but it's coming in a half second later.
Oh my
So you can't do. So you got to turn that off. So it's just funny things like that. But
That screws with me on a phone call.
yeah.
Like when you get that little like even just a little bit of delay, it's like I can't even talk to my mom on the phone, let alone talk to 10,000 people.
Let alone say
at a
happy
ballpark.
birthday
Yeah,
in
happy
front of
birthday.
10,000 people
You're
with
gonna
like a
ruin
half
some kid's
second.
day.
Yeah. You just have to listen to your own head and just you just,
Yeah, right.
That's
It's
like on
you get used to
PlayStation,
it.
like when your mic like lags on PlayStation, and then like you hear your voice, and like you're trying to talk, and like your voice is lagging, and
I can't talk crap on this 16-year-old kid if there's so much lag.
I can't pwn him.
That's actually literally all I do when I play video games with my friend online. I just take over the mic and then I just like talk trash to like the 14-year-old kids. Actually,
That's awesome.
I usually bring up my U.S. Constitution app and I'll just start reading the Constitution.
Oh my god.
And they're like, "Shut up!" I'm like, "You will learn something, kid.
That
You
is
gonna
good.
learn
You
today.
will learn something during your 3 hours playing this stupid game."
Oh my god. That
Speaking
is awesome.
speaking of PlayStation and all that jazz, let's do a little segment called This or That. You want
Yeah.
to do that?
Yeah, definitely. This is the
You down
first
for
time
that?
we're trying this.
Oh,
so,
all right. Sound good.
All right. So
Oh,
We're-
and by the way, I didn't mention this yet, but we're naming this episode after you, obviously, because you're here. We're calling this Bowtie Till I Die.
Ooh, I like it.
And I mean, I came up with that earlier, and I was like, I hope he likes this. And I told Nick, and he was like, I don't know. Like,
once you said bow tie till that was it.
yeah, right.
Like it
could've
rhymed
been
already.
anything else.
It could have, yeah, but then
Bowtie Till I go eat dinner with my family on Easter. Like,
I'm gonna put that song on my mixtape.
all right, so this or that
this.
or that.
All right, well,
This? There, game
you
over.
can get
Cool.
with this, or you can get with that.
what about PlayStation or Xbox?
I had an Xbox 360 and then I sold it because I wasn't playing it enough. But I guess Xbox. Although I did just play PS4 Battlefront the other day, so more recently PS4.
Cool. Dogs or cats?
Dogs. Cats are useless.
Yes, thank you. Somebody that agrees. Chipotle or Qdoba?
Ooh.
Or if you have another place of interest.
What's the new one that opened? Shoot. It's the other one. It's not Qdoba.
I think I know what you mean.
Why am I
Wait, it's a
blanking on
third
it?
one? Like a.
Is that over near the Starbucks on Shanersville or no?
Yes.
Oh.
Well, yeah, I know what you're
Why
talking
am I
about.
forgetting about? Why am I
Is
forgetting
it
its
a name? Like
Moe's.
something.
Moe's.
Moe's.
Yeah, yeah,
Moe's.
Forget Moe's. Yeah.
All right, that would be an
I'm going
answer.
with the third option, Moe's.
All
Yeah.
right.
All right,
Switch it up.
iPhone or Android?
Android.
Nice.
I have my new big super duper phone. It was funny. I always had big phones, and then all the iPhone people made fun of me, and then they all, like, 2 generations later, they have super huge iPhones.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
like big phones. Yeah, they're cool.
My friends were like, "Oh, you can power the space station with that thing?" I'm like, "No, I just like being able to see things."
That's awesome.
Hot or cold?
Cold. I like winter sports and things like that. I just hate sweating.
Yeah.
See, I'm a big guy, so I
Yeah.
like the cold. Like that's like my thing.
Like,
Like
I'd rather have like 4 blankets on than
Yes.
like have to like wear shorts and stuff.
Turn the AC on and a fan and you're still dying.
yeah.
Like, I'd rather
No
have
thanks.
3 sweatshirts on and just take 2 of them off if I
Yep.
get too hot.
City or suburbs?
I like both for different reasons. I'm copping out there. Like I like going to New York for improv classes and stuff. But then the suburbs are nice because you can like drive places.
Yeah.
But then the city's nice because you don't have to drive places. I'm in between.
You must pick one. No,
Okay.
okay.
the rules are the
It's your
rules.
podcast,
You
isn't
need
it?
to get out if you don't pick one.
City then. I'll pick city. I'll pick the city.
Like, I go to New York. Like, I would pick city, but when I go to New York, I'm there for like 6 hours and I'm ready to go. Like, I'm like, all right, get me out of here for like 5 months and then bring me back for another 6 hours. Like, one time, me and my girlfriend, we went to the Met store. I think it's on 42nd Street.
Well, that's your problem right there.
Well, yeah, right? There's no Philly stores out there.
No, because it's New York City.
Yeah. But that's literally the only reason we went there. And we hit the Met store, and I think we hit like Shake Shack and like a couple places she wanted to go to. And I was like, I was done. And then we sat in traffic for about 3 hours on the bus to New Jersey, which should have been a 20-minute bus drive. But
You just got to get to Times Square then.
yeah,
Like, I'll just, like, sometimes when I'm trying to kill time, I'll just get off on a random subway stop and just walk around
Really?
just to see what's out there. There's some cool places.
I
I
should
don't
probably
have
do
enough
that.
balls to do that.
Why?
I
You
don't
can't
know.
get lost. I mean, you could, but you'd still be fine. Like, it's a 2-hour drive to New York. What is that? Like, it would only take you like 2 days to walk home. I think you'd be fine.
Yeah.
No.
Or you can call us for a ride and we could tell you no, and then hop on a bus and
Thank you.
you'll get home eventually.
I don't know. I don't think I'd come home then if you said no. I would just like find a place there.
All right, hey. Well, that's my fault for saying no. I won't do that to you.
Thank you.
Is that it for this or that?
Yeah.
All
I didn't
right.
I didn't get to finish it because you went off on your bullshit rant about New York. So
What do you mean you didn't get to finish it?
no, I didn't get to say the segment's over. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
So how's it going, Ben?
It's good. Hey,
Yeah, right.
what's up, guys?
Ben's just watching two brothers go back and forth.
I
here.
enjoy it.
At lunch.
So, do you like in the sports, like people drink at sports events?
Mhm.
Everybody knows this. Do you ever get like drunk hecklers, like, oh man, like get over here, I want to play a game on the big screen, like.
Oh, that happens all the time.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
you get-
Maybe not
there's
even
some
drunk
crappy
people.
fans. Yeah, there's just weird people too. Yeah, usually they're a little inebriated when they're like that. Oh, one guy said something. Oh yeah, one guy like grabbed me the other day. He's like, "Hey, give me that microphone." I'm like, "No, but what are you? Why?" He's like, "I need to start a chant." I'm like, "What chant do you want to start, sir?" He's like, "Fuck ISIS." I'm like, "No,"
Oh
and I
my
just walked
God.
away. I was like, I agree with the sentiment, but no, you're not gonna start a "fuck ISIS" cheer on the
Yeah.
loudspeaker at the PPL Center.
Oh my god.
No.
There's most of the time it's like children in the stands. You know what I mean? Like you can't
Oh,
be
yeah.
chanting like that kind of shit. I mean, and even with like adults, you shouldn't be. I don't know where I'm getting at with that.
You
but-
shouldn't be cursing in front of
Just
children.
shouldn't be cursing in front of anybody at a public event.
Yeah. You know what's funny though? When we started going to games last year, they were playing music over the big over the sound system
Mhm.
that had cursing in it. And I
Yeah.
don't know how many people noticed it, but I was sitting there cuz I knew some of the songs, and when it got to the part I was like, "All right, we'll see what happens." And then all of a sudden it just got through, and it kept going through for like a couple weeks, and I was like, "Holy crap. Do they know what's going on?" Cuz it was
Those
crazy.
were some of the growing pains there.
Yeah, I was
don't-
like, this is insane. But, I mean, I think they caught on pretty quick. Came back for the second homestand, and that was pretty much done.
things happen.
Oh,
with
yeah.
the beginning of a team and stuff.
Oh,
but
yeah.
we gotta fix that.
Yeah, I mean, I was loving it. I'm like, I feel like we're at a concert. I got a concert and a hockey game. But, yeah, so. Back to this improv.
Mhm.
I was there last Thursday. Nick was not.
I
But-
know.
Fuck
Kind of
you,
sad
Nick.
I missed it. I know.
We're huge fans of Tim and Eric and stuff.
Mhm.
And I don't know if it's just me, but the guy that was hosting with you,
Mhm.
what's his name again?
His name's Dan Marr.
Okay, so Dan, the first thing he did was he came out in just a nice dress shirt and a nice pair of dress pants, gets on stage, and just takes his pants off, takes off his shirt, puts on some pajama pants, and put on a Santa Claus jacket,
Mhm.
and just put on a wig, and he was like, "Hey everybody," and dude, I almost lost it because I was
Yep.
like, "This is the kind of stuff that makes me laugh at 2 a.m. watching Adult Swim."
Yeah, that's Dan. He's the guru of improv in the area. He
Yeah.
pretty much runs everything and is the driving force behind the Lehigh Valley improv scene.
That's awesome.
So he's taken all sorts of classes and he's great. I wouldn't be in improv if it wasn't for him.
Really?
He basically tricked me into it.
Oh, nice.
So back 3 years ago. That's
You-
usually how most people started. Dan Marr tricking people into starting improv.
You guys had
Little
some
did
big
we-
names.
Little did we know he was a magician into tricking you into doing it.
Yeah, pretty
Look
much.
at that. You guys had some big names on that show, though. There was a wrestler.
Yeah. Shoot, I forget his
What was
name.
his name? It was on the back of his shirt too.
Yeah, I should know, but I'm terrible with names.
Yeah, you had some pretty big names on there. What's their name?
What's his face? And
and
what's
that
a ditty?
girl.
There was the host from 107 The Bone, right?
Spin Radio 107.
Okay.
Yeah, Bone's no longer.
Oh, really?
But yeah, it was Mike Becker, who's a midday guy there.
Alright.
He was actually my boss when I worked at.
That's right.
I worked at the Hawk for like 2 years.
That's pretty awesome.
Before I got a new full-time job. But yeah, he's my friend, so we hang
Nice.
out, and I conned him into being on the show. Yeah.
Nice. Where do they record that? Out of the Valley?
That's in they're in Spin is in Stroudsburg.
Oh, okay.
And then,
But they've always
the Hawk
been there.
and ESPN Radio are in the same ownership group, and they're out
Okay.
of Easton.
I actually almost got an internship when I was going to college here at LTRC. I was in like the radio program. I had my own online radio show, and then I did an online, or not online. I got onto FM, and then I tried to get an internship over at WZZO, and then I was like, I need money. Like
Yeah.
I can't work for free, and then I just stopped going to college. So that was kind of like another good reason that I need to get a full-time job, and I can't just be interning.
It's nuts. Just
Speaking of
that industry, I mean, the two industries that just suck, like sports entertainment and radio, both suck.
Hey,
if you
but
want
you're
to like
conquering.
get into it.
You're
Oh,
conquering
yeah.
sports though. You're
So
taking over, man.
you have to take your lumps. Like when I was doing play-by-play for the Auburn Devil Days, like I was not paid that entire summer, and
Really?
I had 3 days off the entire summer, like
Oh.
because I was traveling with the team.
Oh,
like I
were
literally
you?
had 3 days off the entire summer.
How
like,
far
not
did you
getting
guys
paid.
travel
Like,
with
they paid
them?
for our hotel and like our boarding. That was about it.
Really?
Yeah, so it's like that kind of stuff's just like you gotta take your lumps, and
Yeah.
sometimes good things happen, and because if not, people complain about the pay and whatever. Well, there's gonna be 10 people right behind you who want that job.
Yeah.
So they don't, That's
Yeah,
why
you
the
worked
pay's so
hard.
low.
You got what you wanted. That's awesome. Like, not many people can say that. So
Yeah. So yeah, when I saw the Phantoms were announced and all that, I was like, yep, I want to be a part of that. Hopefully. So I just kind of like was looking for email addresses for like months and like trying to figure out who to talk to, and then finally did like a couple weeks before, and was trying to find out about auditions, and then they announced them like one day, and they were like the next day. So I was like, oh, because I gotta go to the PBL Center and try out
Nice.
for the MC or whatever.
Well, speaking of,
well, hey, hold on. I'm gonna cut you off there.
yeah.
You said earlier about here at LTRC.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you want to tell them what that means?
I guess. We usually record from the home, from our house, but
The
we
old
could
folks'
not.
home.
Yeah, at the old folks' home, but we couldn't do that this week. So we are at LTRC, and it's finals week. So we couldn't have picked a worse time. Actually, it's a good time and a bad time because we were upstairs and some kid came in and he was like, I have a final in here. And I was like, dude, I don't think so. Like, get out of here. And then he came back in and he was like, no, I definitely have a final. And I was like,
It
well,
felt bad.
they put us in here and they didn't tell us like, hey, somebody might be coming in. But he was like, yeah, it's at 6:30. And I'm like, dude, we should probably get out of here.
Oh
like,
boy.
I felt really bad because I was like, hey, man, just so you know, we're going to be recording. Like, so,
Was it just him taking a
Ye-
final, or was
well,
it
no.
like was it a class?
it was supposed to be a class, but he's like, the professor's always late. So we're just going to, everybody shows up late anyway. So I was like, yeah, I guess. But like, who takes a final in a library? Like, unless it's like their classroom, but
I guess
mean,
this
this
looks like a classroom that we're in now. We're in a cool room.
We're in a classroom.
it is a nice room though.
Hello. Yeah, it's pretty.
I'm gonna go yell from the corner of the
All
room.
right.
Yes.
Let's hear.
Hey guys, what's the next question you want to ask me?
All right. What is Dude, you threw me off.
You weren't ready.
Oh, I wasn't ready for that. I thought you were just going to go over there, say something, and come back.
ask me a question.
All right. So, at the Phantoms, there's another guy, Nick Michael. Do you know him?
Yeah.
Well, he's actually he's like my grandma's cousin's son. And like,
A grandson or just
no,
son?
just son. Nick's like, I don't know how old he is. He looks like he's 15, but he has like a 15-year-old. And we took her to a game once, and she was like, yeah, I know him. And I was like,
Was this
"What?"
even a question? Like, he's just standing in the
Yeah.
corner.
No, this is kind of just
like you just
time until you want me to come back.
All right, Ben.
Maybe come back towards the microphone.
Oh, I was gonna ask you a question.
I'm gonna come back towards the microphone.
How was that corner?
Corner was good.
Was it hot over there?
It reminds me of all of elementary school where I was put in the corner.
You know, all corners are 90 degrees, so it must have been a little warm.
Oh.
Got him.
Improv.
What?
But anyway, tomorrow there's another Phantoms game. But I was wearing a tie as I'm getting this selfie stick out.
Dude, I hate selfie sticks.
Do you really?
They're like a pet peeve of mine. I
Would
think
you
they're
be a
the
part of?
stupidest thing.
Would you be a part of a
I'm
selfie?
gonna be very grumpy in the selfie stick.
All right.
People that know me know I hate selfie sticks.
All right. Well, you can be grumpy in this one. Then we'll take one without the stick, and then you'll be like super happy.
Yeah, that'll be good.
All right. But
Then you can like ask someone to take a picture for you. That's just my pet peeve. I'm just like, just ask someone to take a damn picture.
Yeah,
Well-
and then like you get the hand with the bar in
Yeah.
the picture sometimes.
you know what? Screw this selfie stick.
Yeah.
Ben's request.
Yeah.
I don't want to make our guests upset.
break
Fuck
it.
you,
Throw it in a
selfie stick.
fire.
Eat it. Give me that.
Eat it. Get it out of here. Burn it.
Yeah. I'm not gonna break it right now.
So I was wearing. He's another guy that wears a bow tie. That's why I'm bringing this up.
Yeah, we have arguments about this.
Oh, do you?
Not really. It's just
Like,
a
do you guys
friendly-
fight like one of these like old Irish like knuckle like I don't even know what I'm saying, but
Who? Him in the bow tie?
no.
Oh, him and
Ben
Nick.
and Nick,
Okay, all
because they're
right.
both bow tie guys. But technically, Nick's not on the screen all the time, so you
That's
kind of
true.
win.
So I'm more known as the bow tie guy.
And it's in your title. Come on. But
I did that just to show him up and be like, nope, you're not gonna be the bow tie guy, buddy.
Now, do you have a problem with regular ties?
No, it was just before the first preseason game of the first season. So it was like the first game. I was just like, hey, like the fan force had their outfits that they were gonna wear with the jackets and the pants, and I was just like, hey, what do you guys want me to wear? And they're like, we're not sure. It was like a week before, and it was like a few days before. I was like, hey, any update on what you guys want me to wear? And they were like, nope, we don't really know yet. We'll get back to you.
Oh
And it was
my
like the
God.
day of. I'm like, hey, any update on what you guys want me to wear? And they're like, no, just wear whatever. So I was just like leaving the house. I was like, I have no idea to wear. I was like, it's hockey. I should probably wear long sleeves, maybe dress up a little bit. And then I remember that my brother like went to prom and had like an orange bow tie. And I was like, hey, Michael, do you still have your orange bow tie from prom? He's like, yeah, why? Like, I want to maybe borrow it tonight. So I just like put it on, wore it to the stadium, got through the night, and then I was upstairs, and then like some Flyers executives were walking by. They're like, hey, bow tie Ben over there. I was like,
Oh, nice.
oh, I'm like, well, that's my thing.
That's
Like it
cool.
was really not well thought out or anything like that. I was just like, oh, that's my thing. I'm gonna roll with it now.
Yeah,
You don't
that
get
is
to pick
awesome.
your nickname, and like that was perfect timing.
Yeah.
Like that's awesome. That like the day of you got your name, and like the bow tie's been living since in the PPL Center.
Mhm.
So you borrowed
Then I
your
had to learn-
brother's
Yeah.
bow tie.
Yeah, it was like a clip-on thing.
Oh, okay.
And then I was like, I don't want to half-ass this, so I bought real ones and learned how to tie them.
I was gonna say how much bigger has your bow tie collection got since this hockey team started?
It went from 0 to I think I have like 5 or 6 now,
Nice.
plus like a couple ones that people gave me.
So you tie them? Like, is that
No,
hard?
they're-
to learn?
Once you learn how to do it, it's easy. It took me like an hour, like at like midnight one day, watching YouTube videos. It's kind of like a normal tie up until like the last step where you have to like fold it over and like push it through the back and then like adjust it at the end. So that once you get that part down, it's
Yeah.
easier.
I've looked at them and I'm like, there's no way. There's no way I'm gonna learn how to do this. And plus, I don't know what it is. It might be because I'm a bigger guy, but bow ties don't look good on me. Like, have you
Yeah,
ever?
they do. Yeah, they do. They look fine. I mean, look, I'm wearing one in the picture here,
Hey,
that's
you
right.
look good.
but you're not. Like as
Yeah.
I'm flipping
You
it.
look like
See, I'm
crap.
a tie guy. Yeah, I know.
You're a
I look
tie
like I
guy.
had no fun.
Mhm.
I don't know. I like any kind of tie. I like mixing it up. Yeah, like I'll wear a bow tie. I'll wear a tie.
I own 2 bow ties and they're both clip-ons. One is a $100 bill, which is pretty sweet actually. I used
That's
to wear it
pretty
in
fun.
my sales job because like we had Target days, and I'm like I would wear that, and the CEO would come by high-fiving me and stuff like with his Welsh accent.
With his real $100 bill.
He'd be like,
in his
"Hey
hand.
mate, that's a good one." And I'm like, "Oh Jesus!" I'm like, "Don't touch
Oh,
me."
don't get with the accents.
Oh
again.
yeah, I can't.
Craig
nah.
sucks with
Yeah,
accents.
I'm not even gonna try. But he would come over and just like high five me and stuff, even though I sold like $50 that day. He'd be like, good job. And I'm like, yeah, my bow tie probably cost more than what I made the company today. But, so yeah, I'm glad I asked that because I was curious. I was like, why are you wearing bow ties? But you dressed up for that first game. Do you ever regret it? Like, are you ever like getting ready to go to a game? And you're like, man, I could just wear like a t-shirt tonight.
I figured I feel like I was like, oh, they'll probably just have me wear like a jersey or something. But I was like, oh, I can do better than that.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like everybody does that. So I wanted something that was, just a little more upscale, to go along with what they're trying to do in downtown and everything like that. So
Yeah.
And you stand out too. Like if you're walking, the orange is like vibrant in the like. If there's a whole group of people walking, and I will see you in there with like your vibrant bow tie, like, and like obviously you have your crew rolling with you too.
Yeah,
so,
that kind of helps.
But
Cameras, lights, and a microphone. Like, I wonder where he is. I don't see him.
where is he? No, I was actually fortunate enough to be on the chip shuffle game, the one game, and that was really fun. And what was it? They throw bags out to the section,
Oh yeah.
and I turned to him and I was like, "Can I throw some bags?" And you were like, "Yeah, take them."
I don't care.
And I was just like, I thought I like hit somebody, like I don't know. It was fun.
They did 2 sections too when you won because we're in 111, and I think 112 is like a very short one, like it cuts off halfway down. So like you won for 111 and 112.
Yeah,
and
we're just
everybody was
getting rid
like,
of the whole bag, the whole box of bags. So
that's awesome. I love like all the prizes that you guys give out at the games, and I mean it's awesome. Like I don't know.
yeah, they get a lot of autographed stuff. I don't know how they pull that.
I know. Like I don't know. I mean we have autographed sticks and pucks. They actually were selling. They did like some kind of auction with pucks, and I forget who did I get. Was it?
Was
Was
that
it
the mystery
Ryan
puck?
White?
What mystery puck night, or was that a different
It
thing?
might have been. It was
No,
like
it was-
$10 and you just got a puck.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
it was signed.
I think it was like appreciation night or something like that, or it was like I can't remember, but they were like it was like a wooden texture on the puck,
Oh neat.
and like they were signed by players.
But
They were wrapped. I
Whoever
remember that.
mine was
Yeah, that was
signed
probably
by.
the mystery puck.
That
You
was-
just pick a puck and it's signed by somebody.
Yeah.
Yep,
Whoever mine was signed by ended up being on the Flyers like a week later.
that was Atkinson, right?
Yeah, it was. It was Atkinson.
That's
And
solid get.
he had his number that he had at the Phantoms, and then I think he went up to the Flyers and got a different number, and I was like, dude, like I hope he stays up there. This will be a great thing to have. And now I haven't heard of him. I haven't heard from him since.
Well, my cousin, Andy, she goes
Yeah.
to a lot of games with us, and she loves Anthony Stolarz, and me and my uncle went up and got the pucks, and we checked them out, and I had Mathers, however you pronounce it, and I had Stolarz, and I was just like, Andy is gonna flip. So like we gave it to her, and I mean he's the starter now. He was the backup last year,
Yeah.
so it's pretty cool to see, the players get starting positions when they weren't last year, and
Yeah.
it's pretty cool.
I feel like hockey though, like being with the hockey and baseball, I feel like baseball you get to see more of the major league players.
Yeah.
Like with the rehabs and everything. I feel like in hockey it's like you get hurt, you do rehab in the locker room or wherever you need to go, and then you're ready to play. Like there's no AHL unless like you're doing terrible. Like it's pretty much just like, oh hey, I broke my nose, and it's like you break like your leg or something. I was expecting to see Kimmo Timonen down in AHL last year, and then I was like, wait, why is he playing in Chicago? Why is he winning a championship right now? Like I thought this guy was gonna be a Phantom for at least a night. Like give me something.
Yeah, it's
But
weird.
those guys are tough, man. They do not mess around.
Yeah, I've actually the minor league. Yeah, in baseball, it's a lot of fun when those guys come through.
Oh, yeah.
Like I was in Trenton when Derek Jeter was rehabbing.
Oh,
Nice.
nice.
So that was just like it was like a zoo for those couple of days, and it was weird because I was like going into the Thunder locker room like I normally do, like before a game to like fill up the cooler for the mascots' drinks and stuff, fill it with ice. So I just I'm backing in with like dragging a cooler behind me. And I turn around and Jeter's like shirtless in the ice tank. I'm like, hi there. And I was just like scooping ice with Derek Jeter in an ice tub like right away. And I just
awesome.
slowly drag it out of the room.
That's like a baseball legend. Like,
Yeah.
that is crazy.
And then Reggie Jackson was one of their hitting coaches, and so he was down there one day, and I was friends with the Thunder manager, who's like super cool guy, like the best guy I've met in baseball, Tony Franklin, nicest guy. So he was like my Christopher Walken impression. So I came in like after a game to give Tony his stats and whatever. It's just him and Reggie Jackson just chilling at his desk in his office. He's like Ben, do you Christopher Walken? I was like, you want me to do? I was like in my head, I was like, you want me to do my Christopher Walken for Reggie, for Mr. October, Reggie Jackson?
Oh my god!
I'm like, okay. He's like, yeah, do it. And so I'm like, now batting, Mr. October, Reggie Jackson. Like Reggie like smirks. That's about it. And I was just like, I'm leaving now.
It was like reaching for a high five, and he was just like, "See ya."
It was funny. Yeah, it was just funny.
Oh my god!
But yeah, doing silly things like that are what makes it fun.
I think
You're not necessarily getting paid well, but you get those cool experiences.
I think I read today that today is actually the anniversary. Like it was like 1988 or something, where he signed like he made the most money. It was like 16 million with the Yankees. It was like the most paid at the time.
That's
and I was
crazy.
like, 16 million now is great. Like for some guys.
Like for a year.
Well, yeah. But I mean 16 million in 1988, he was probably having a blast.
He was probably doing drugs.
No,
like
I
what-
thought about it.
What were
and I
you
was like,
saying?
I don't know.
Jesus.
There's some Wolf of Wall Street stuff going on in the Yankees locker room.
That'd be sweet. They'd all get suspended though.
So, I know we talked. You said you're doing like you're taking classes up in New York for like your improv and stuff.
Yeah, not currently actually.
Okay.
I've just been away from it. Actually graduated the improv program at the Upright Citizens Brigade, which is Amy Poehler and her cast of friends that they had that Comedy Central show back in the late 90s, early 2000s or whatever. So yeah, that's their main training school. They have one in New York and LA. So I would bus in every week for class. It's like each level, 101, 201, 301, 401. It's like a 3-hour class once a week for 8 weeks. So just busing in and taking classes and seeing shows in the city.
That's awesome.
So a few people in the Lehigh Valley have done that. So yeah, I just graduated the improv program, and then you can apply for advanced study, which is relatively exclusive and hard to get into. I didn't get in at my first try, so you have to take another class again, and then I applied again and got into advanced study. But it's super hard to book classes because they don't. So there's a ton of people that are trying to take them, and not enough classes. So. Especially when you're not from New York and you have to like fit it into a schedule, like there's like literally like Sunday nights are like the only time I could possibly take classes. So that's where it's kind of hard. So I would take it on a, if I lived in the city I could go whenever, but you have to plan it out a little bit more.
I feel like that's a big thing. Like people in New York, like I don't know if it's a mindset, but I would imagine that people in New York are trying to get more into it and try to take classes because of SNL. Like you have a better chance of getting onto SNL if you live in New York rather than in LA.
They come from a few of the people on the show are from LA, a lot from Chicago too.
Oh, really?
Like the Second City is the famous theater there, which predates the UCB. Like the UCB all took classes at Second City and Improv Olympic and a couple other places in Chicago. That's where long form improv really started. And then they kind of, people like the UCB took it to New York. And made it their thing there. So they all kind of teach different forms and structures. They all have different methodology. But, being able to create funny people is what they do well. So, yeah, it's like the UCB in New York and LA, Second City and Improv Olympic in Chicago. And then there's also the Groundlings in LA where a lot of them have come from. I think like Kristen Wiig and Will Ferrell, I think, came from the Groundlings.
Oh, wow.
So they all come from those main batches and then some stand-ups and whoever else they can find.
Wow. There's more to comedy than I thought.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I
there's a
never,
lot.
like, I'm learning so much tonight just, like, by hearing, like...
There's a lot of cool books you can read about it. Poking a Dead Frog is a good book. It's just, like, just interviews with, like, a lot of super famous comedian people. And it's just super interesting.
Yeah.
Just, like, there's so many different things you can do with comedy. Like that book has, like the guy who created the National Lampoon and things like that. The Harvard Comedy Journal or something like that too. So just anything you can think of. There's different, screenwriting.
Oh, yeah.
comedy TV, you know, everything. Yeah, there's so many different layers and different genres of comedy.
I love
that you
watching
can get into.
documentaries like that. Like
Mm-hmm.
like I watched the Improv documentary about the actual place, the Improv in New York, about how many like famous people would go there and line up just to try to like impress the guy, and he would, you know, they'd hopefully be like, hey, you know, get this guy on the show, like he's super funny. But like all these names, like Seinfeld would show up and they'd be like, sorry man, not tonight, like you don't have a spot tonight. And he's like, he had to go home and just like, hopefully next week, you know, he can go try out again. There's another one that I watched. I recommend Misery Loves Comedy. Have you ever seen that?
I have not.
Dude,
been
it's a
interested.
great documentary. It's just, it's all about like stand-up comedy and like how just things go terrible on stage, and like from the good to the bad, and like they have a lot of big names in that too. So I'm like a huge fan of comedy, and like I've always been like I could probably do stand-up, and then I'm like I could probably do it for like 2 minutes, and then I'm like stage fright or something, like I'd freeze or get one heckler.
Well, everybody sucks at the beginning. It's just
Oh,
whether
yeah.
or not you want to keep going and get through that. Like you go,
Yeah.
like if you wanted to start, you go up there and you'd be like, just as long as you know in your head, you're like, I'm gonna bomb. You just
Yeah.
go up there knowing you're gonna
Get
suck,
ready for it.
and you're gonna suck, and then you're gonna regroup and slowly get funnier. It's one of those things you can only do it by doing it.
Yeah.
You just can't. You gotta, you know, get past your inhibitions and being scared, and just
Yeah.
realize like, hey, I'm gonna talk to a bunch of drunk people in a room and try and make them laugh. Like it is what it is. Like it's not the end of the world.
Yeah. And I mean, I think the hardest part about it is like I can be funny talking to people like face to face, like in a conversation, but when you're up there trying to talk like pretty much to yourself, but like you're talking not to people, but you're talking at them, like that's where I feel like it would be awkward at first.
Yeah, it's a different dynamic.
Like, have you ever done that? Have you ever done anything like stand up?
I have. I started doing stand up, and that's how my friend Dan Marr tricked me into
Oh, okay.
doing. He's like, hey, you should come like practice with us, like try some improv. I'm like, oh, okay. And then like just one day, I was just like happened to be in the group.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I was in the I was in Flighty Ducks for a couple years. Then I started taking classes, and
Nice.
you know, then got actually better at it.
It became a serious thing
Yeah, I guess
after
so.
getting tricked.
Yeah, after you spend hundreds of dollars taking
Yeah.
classes and buses into New York.
Yeah.
So you gotta kind of commit to it.
Oh yeah. After you take that first trip, you're like, all right, this is it.
Yeah.
I'm committed now.
hmm
But I mean, I would say that, you know, anytime I've seen you, you know, I've only been to one improv show, but all the Phantoms games, like whatever you have, whenever you come on the screen, like it never gets old.
Thanks. Yeah.
So you're doing something right. And
Yeah, I try and change things up too. Like if I get bored with, like I get bored kind of easily, and I don't like saying things the same way, like 2 games in a row.
oh
or, like
yeah.
if I'll hold out the, you know, the koozie toss, koozie toss. Like I try and do it a little different every night, just so I don't get bored and so the fans don't get bored.
Yeah.
That's why I wear a top hat some random games, like the last game, and
My
try and do
favorite, my favorite is the shit. I was just thinking about it. Now I can't. Release the Fury or whatever.
Unleash the Fury.
Unleash,
Oh, yeah.
unleash, not release. Unleash the Fury.
That's my death metal growl right there.
Nice. You know what I was
Slowly
thinking?
been working on that in my car for the last like 2 years. Like I'm not kidding you.
Really?
Like I like heavy metal, and I could never like do a growl really well. It was like and it like fades out. But I've been like slowly working on it in my car.
Nice.
Yeah, like stuff like that. So yeah, the Bowtie Ben Must Die or whatever. What is the track of this? What is the name of this?
Oh,
Bow
Bow
tie
tie till I die.
Bow tie till I die.
Yeah, there we go.
I tried to do a pig
Yeah, that'll be
squeal.
my first single of
Nice.
my EP.
But you have to name it something not related to what you said,
That's true.
so that it's a metal song.
We can call it Spring Break.
Yes. Spring
Like
break.
they like think it's gonna be like a nice like party playlist, and you're just like,
Speaking of koozie toss, I was thinking on the way out of here, we should like have all of our stuff packed up and ready to run, and then you just be like, "It's time for," and just like do your koozie blast and see how many people are like, "Holy shit, is that the Phantoms guy?" And then we just get out of here real quick and just be like, "Sorry, we don't have any koozies. Come to the game tomorrow."
Go to the game. Go to the game, everybody. Do it.
That would be
I'll just
great.
no. I wish I had koozie. I'll just chuck it at people in the
Yeah,
library.
right.
That'd be more fun.
I mean, considering it's a library, it would be really loud.
Oh my
Like,
god.
Kuzitas! Like, and everyone's just like sitting there studying. Like, what the fuck?
I don't want to burn any bridges here. Like, if
Yeah.
we need this room again, like they're very generous for letting us be in here.
I don't ever need to use this room
Yeah,
again,
right?
so I don't care.
So Ben just does it. We're like, I don't know who that guy is. They're
Who-
like, he was just in that room with you for an hour.
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, Nick,
Craig.
do you have anything left? I mean, I've learned a lot today, and I think I've hit the end of my questioning, and it's
I mean,
been a lot of
The
fun.
clock in this room says it's 2:51. We started at like 6:30.
Oh my god.
So we've been here for 8 hours.
So
If we look at that clock,
If I go to sleep right now, I'll get 4 hours, and then I have to be up for work. So we should probably go to sleep.
I think I have one last question
do it
for the
Just do it up.
podcast.
All right, Nick.
All right. Lunchtime with Ben, Craig, and Nick. Breakfast with Ben and Craig. Or supper time with Ben and Nick. Which one do you like better?
Ooh. I like breakfast food, so let's do the breakfast one.
Breakfast with Ben and Craig it is.
All right. See you, Nick.
I will see you guys.
Yeah, Nick.
Enjoy.
You have to leave the room.
See ya.
All right. You know, as I get older, I've started to like breakfast a lot more too. I don't know
Dude,
what it
breakfast
is.
food is awesome.
I hated it when I was younger. Like I never wanted,
I'd like,
Like
force down
anything.
eggs and stuff. I'd
Yeah.
like force it.
but I just got like an omelet at like 11 p.m. last Saturday. I don't know why. Like I don't know who that guy is, but
It's like if breakfast is on the menu, I'm getting breakfast
yeah.
food.
That is awesome.
Like brunch, if it's a diner, yeah. You don't go to a diner and get something else. You get breakfast food.
Oh, of course. But
Yeah, that was it. That's the
all
last
right,
question.
That's the last question, and honestly, this has been the best freaking thing. Like I'm glad that you came on, and we learned a lot about
Cool, guys, yeah.
just your.
Anytime. Appreciate it.
Improv and-
Appreciate you guys being fans and being super cool
Oh,
and
of
being
course.
nice and everything.
Is there
Uh,
anything you'd like to plug, like
yeah.
where to go for your improv or?
Yeah, sure. Shrunken Kids, we play for, I think we're going through like January, is like the end of our run. So every other Thursday at Steel Stacks. It's at 10 o'clock on Thursday nights, but you can stay awake and watch some improv. So yeah, Shrunken Kids there. Flighty Ducks, we have Bar Brawl at the Allentown Brewworks every other Tuesday. So that's a fun show downstairs in the Silk Lounge at ABW. That's always a good time. And then the Steel Stacks Improv Comedy Festival is coming up in late January, which is going to be awesome. We have some, our headliners are from Chicago. It's the Improvised Shakespeare Company, who are really, really awesome. And then there's Christian Capizzoli, who's a big improviser from New York. He's headlining the Friday night. And there's some other really great groups, people from UCB, like UCB house teams, so they're really, really good at improv. And there's a group called Team Lopez, who's my favorite. They improvise with puppets, and they're like blowing up. So that's gonna be a lot of fun.
I want to go see that one.
Oh,
yeah, it's a 2-day festival. It's like 12 hours each day.
nice.
It's a good time. I'm going to be performing with both of my groups on those days. Yeah, it's the 22nd and the 23rd of January over at Steel Stacks. So you can literally sit there and laugh your ass off for like 12 hours each day. It's
Jaw's gonna be
awesome.
hurting, getting
Yeah.
all tight and stuff.
And of course, buy our tickets for the Phantoms.
Yes.
PPLcenter.com, I think.
You'll see all of us there. Like,
Yeah.
You already have your tickets, but
Oh yeah.
people
for 5
that you're
years.
with, yeah, for 5 years you're locked
Yeah,
in.
We're locked.
Funny thing is, after this year, I'm going to start just being mean to everybody. Like, you can't get out of your contract. I'm just going to be mean.
thought
Nobody
it was
gets
fine?
prizes.
you come down to our seats, you're like, we're going to play that you shut up and watch this game.
Yeah.
And then just the screen goes black.
Jeopardy songs starting after the period. It's like. It's
We're
like
just gonna
no games.
We're just gonna play high-pitched notes. Just
The dog whistle.
Yeah, just that.
Right above the one where you can't hear it, so it's like super annoying the whole time.
Yep.
That would be awesome.
You're all gonna think you have like tinnitus. Your ears are just ringing.
Dude, after like 18 minutes of that, I don't even know.
No, we'll keep it fun. We'll keep
Oh,
it fun.
yeah.
and different.
Well,
Awesome.
I mean, this episode was, what was it called again?
Bow tie till I die.
tie till I die.
With the infamous bow tie Ben. Thank you very much for coming on
Yeah,
the
thank you.
podcast.
Thanks, guys. See you at the rink.
Yeah, we'll see you guys at the game. At all of the games.
Yeah.
But for now, thank you guys once again for listening. This has been Craig,
This has been Nick.
And I'm Bowtie Ben.
and we'll see you guys next
Till I
time.
die.
Goodbye.
Baby, you're an angel. I vowed that you're the one, but she made me so unstable. I swear I tried to run, but I was sinking in a quicksand. Baby, I'm alone, man, reaching out for your hand. I promise nothing has changed. Remember high school, remember our first date. You and me in my room, you said you felt the same. Making love in springtime underneath the moonshine. Baby, you're the real crowd. Baby, you're the real. Listen to me breathing. Every time we touch, I felt it. Baby, please don't do this to woman. Put your weapon on woman. Put your weapon on woman. Put your weapon down, woman. Put your weapon on woman. Put your weapon on woman. Put your weapon down, 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 down. Put your weapon down. Put your weapon. Put your weapon down. Put your weapon. Put your weapon down. Put your weapon, put your weapon down. Put your weapon, put your weapon down. Put your weapon, put your weapon down. My baby is a rebel, she's a rebel, I was wrong. In between a hungry trigger and the pounding of the wall, I'm reaching up towards the heavens, but I'm holding on to hell. You see, facing her in heaven would be far worse than the devil himself.